Good day everyone. I'm your instructor. I am Mr. Ed Bautista, and today I will be talking about the preliminaries of the subject purposive communication. I have actually uploaded this document in our G Drive. I have sent you the link to access this document, so you can actually download this so that you can follow through, or you can follow through our discussion. So purposive communication is about writing, speaking, and presenting to different audiences and for various purposes. That's why it's called purposive communication. So definitely this is about, or mainly about, communication. So this is a 3-unit course or subject develops your communicative competence and enhances your cultural and intercultural awareness. Okay, so we are going to practice how we're going to communicate considering the cultural background of our audience. So we will be having multimodal tasks, meaning to say we're going to use varied resources and methods in presenting our ideas. So to provide opportunities to communicate effectively and appropriately to multicultural audience in a local and global context, because we will not just communicate with the local people. Definitely, you will be communicating with the people around the world, because the world is getting smaller. We are getting smaller because of technology or the internet. So we are not just interacting with our neighbors, but we are also interacting with other people across the world. Okay, so that's why it is, or it should be integrated in your training. So we have here the learning outcomes. It's divided into 3 aspects. So we have here the knowledge, skills, and values. So for the knowledge, these are the things that you will know, okay, in the subject. And for the skills, these are the things that you can do because of the subject. And for the values, these are the things that you can actually inculcate within your attitude. Okay, so let's start first with the knowledge. Okay, so you're going to describe the nature, elements, and functions of verbal and nonverbal communication in various and multicultural contexts. Okay, so meaning to say you're going to consider or study the different cultural practices of people around the world, because one day you will be interacting with the people, okay, from the international community, and explain how cultural and global issues affect communication. So right now we are facing pandemic. So how does it affect the way we communicate? Determine culturally appropriate terms, expressions, and images. So we will study that, no, how to behave appropriately when you are in Japan, in Korea, because you're going to study their cultural practices, because that is a mainly part of your communication in the future. Because when you communicate to them, of course you will have to consider their cultural identity. Evaluate multimodal text critically to enhance receptive listening, reading, viewing skills. Okay, so evaluate means to see you're going to judge whether the document presented is true or not, or the information presented is true or not, because right now there is a proliferation of fake news. So fake news is being widespread across online communities, for instance in Facebook. So ang daming naloloko because of that. So we have to be skilled in identifying what is true or not, and summarize the principles of academic text structure. And for the skills, you're going to convey ideas through audiovisual presentations, web-based presentations for different target audiences, both global and local settings. Create coherent and effective communication materials. So how to create effectively a PowerPoint presentation, Prezi presentation, or any other presentation for that matter. Create clear, coherent, and effective communication materials. Present ideas persuasively using appropriate language registers. Okay, so you're going to practice or enhance your skills. How to convince people to listen to you. How to convince people to believe you. So write and present academic papers using appropriate tone, style, convention. So component din ng ating subject is yung research writing or technical writing. So you're going to know how are you going to effectively write an effective technical paper or research paper. And then the next one is the values. Adopt cultural and intercultural awareness and sensitivity in communication of ideas. Now, for example, people nowadays tend to look down people having cultural or ethnic background. So that should not be the case because we have to be culture sensitive, no? So we should not discriminate people because they are Manobo, they are Ata Manobo, or they are from a different tribe, or for example Bajau. So we should not put negative labels on those people because that is their identity, no? So we have to respect those people, and that is part of the study of this subject. Appreciate the differences of varieties of spoken and written languages. Adopt awareness of audience and context in presenting ideas. So appreciate the impact of communication on society and the world. Well, anyway, I will not discuss this further because this will be further elaborated in the content of our modules and in the content of our discussions. So by the way, we have a flexible learning setup wherein we have a module and we also have an online setup or sessions. So for those who can access the online classes or online content, so please do so because it is really better to have an online sessions than to just study based on the module. So kasi sa module, wala masyadong interaction. But here, in the online platform, you can actually interact with me. You can ask questions. I can ask questions to you. And we can collaborate, no, to learn better. Because nowadays, learning is not just an individual action, but it is a collective effort of a group or peers. So you can learn from me, I can learn from you. So that is how this works. Okay? So for the division of the topics, so for the first week we have the communication processes, principles, and ethics. Again, this will be detailed further in our discussions. Communication and globalization, so local, global communication in multicultural settings, varieties, registers. So yung mga registers and varieties, nakadepende yan sa konteksto ng profession or discipline. So for instance, for teachers, they have their different registers. They have different terms. Yung mga terms na yon, teachers lang halos yung nakaka-relate because that is in their setting. So for example then, so may mga professions like forestry, agriculture, meron silang kanya-kanyang register or terms na nakabase sa kanilang context. That only those people from that profession can relate. Okay, so we're going to study those things. So evaluating messages, message, the purpose, how message is being conveyed, etc., etc. So communication aids and strategies using tools of technology. How do we effectively use the technology that we have now in communication? So that is part of the study of this subject. So communication for various purposes, no? So to obtain, to provide, disseminate information, to persuade and argue. 'Di ba napapansin natin sa social media maraming nag-argue na wala naman silang point, na wala naman silang basehan, no? They just argue because they want to. So that is irresponsible and that thing is not actually considered as professional. So we are going to tackle that as well. So communication for work purposes, communication for academic purposes. Okay, so you can actually have a rerun on this document. Again, I have uploaded this in our G drive and I have sent you the link already in our GC. So please do so if you have time. So you can actually refer a lot of things in our syllabus. And also I'd like to go over with the grading system. So actually dito sa part na to naka-divide na yung ano natin, no, topics. Okay, by the way, if you want to go further or read further, we have here suggested references, no? Pinagbatayan ng module and tsaka ng ano, syllabus natin. So, if you want to further understand the topic, so merong mga libro dito and you can search them in the internet. For the grading system, we have 20% for requirements, class standing, that's 40%, quizzes, 20%, oral recitation, assignments, attendance. So, naka-breakdown yan siya. Major exams. So, since halos tapos na yung prelim exam natin, no, or prelim period, so we will be focusing na on the midterm and the final exam. So, parang nag-skip na tayo sa prelim, no, kasi medyo late na tayo naka-start because of the extension of the enrollment. But anyway, just keep posted. Please keep posted in our GC. I will just announce your task, especially your examinations. No, I will just give further details on that. So since na-miss na natin yung prelim exam, or I think ngayon na week na yung prelim exam, so catch up na lang tayo, no? So again, I will just post an announcement on that. Okay, so if you have questions, clarifications, you can actually email, PM me, or you can reach me on Messenger. Okay, so that's about our syllabus. Okay, so for the next video I will be presenting you the lesson. Okay, the first lesson of the subject. So thank you for watching this video.